What's going on, everybody? This is Altcoins Anonymous, episode 3. How you guys doing? Welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about. We don't really have a lot to talk about. I guess I just have to do a little recap on really not much. Not much happened. I guess we'll do a couple things. One, I'm gonna state my whole idea about like why Monero makes more sense than I thought ever so, and it's like this really stupid reasoning, but it's a philosophical, logical argument. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't play, that's fine. We'll get to that. Also, I want to talk about these dope ass fucking shirts I've been making. I might have to send out a couple apologies. I'm gonna do a couple apologies as well. I'm gonna probably get those out of the way first. I'm just gonna do this first little introduction, and then we'll do some apologies. And then, let's see, what else? I want to talk about the shirts, apologies, what's going on with my theory. I guess we can talk about B-Gold, like what to do with B-Gold. Is B-Gold really going to be a thing? What do I think B-Gold is? I don't know, man. We could talk about that stuff. I think it's interesting. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so let's just get the apologies out of the way, right? I first want to apologize to Zuko. Okay, Zuko was the target of a horrible. It's not even really like funny. Really, it's just like it's just a stupid idea. And I made a T-shirt about his face. The Zuko is my homegirl T-shirt. Right after Zcash came out, this is right when I was getting into that Monero mindset. Then I heard, hey, there's this other thing called Zcash coming out, and they're going to take 40% of what everybody mines. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's just make fun of this guy. And so that's how that happened. But also, god damn it, Zuko, you're so goddamn photogenic that I just had to put some type of photo of you, man. All right? Fucking handsome, dude. Jesus Christ. All right. Anyway, got that out of the way. So Zuko, that's the first apology. Much love, dude. I'm sure you're doing excellent work for the cryptographic community. I'm not part of that. I'm part of like just pointing fun and making fun. That's all I do. Don't take me seriously. Any of your friends don't take me seriously. And if you guys don't like me because of it, that's fine. It's not for you. And if it is for you, I hope you appreciate it. That's all I really, really hope for. But if it's not for you, man, sorry. Sorry about that. But there's going to be more down the line. So just if you keep doing stupid shit, hopefully I'll be able to make some money off that. And that's how that whole thing works. Number 2. Jihan, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, I've never had more traffic to my shitty fucking website before. Oh, and you know what? I even post your fucking picture on there. So we're gonna apologize to Jihan, who doesn't know who I am, nor care about who I am, ever. But we used his face. I hope that's alright. I mean, that should be fine. It's just artwork, right? I can do whatever I want with artwork, right? I hope so. Anyway, so he obviously got very upset in his Bcash / Bitcoin Cash debate, and I just gotta say, Monero Apparel, we're gonna be using Bcash, so guys, just or whatever legally Globy is allowed to transfer over for all legal purposes, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what the proper words are to use there, but that's fine. Anyway, so yeah, sorry that you got made fun of. I might steer away from using people's faces without their permission. I don't know if that matters. I don't want to be on some darknet fucking market hit list in China or some shit. I don't want a fucking bunch of fucking ninjas showing up at my fucking door 4 o'clock in the morning. Say, do you know who made this T-shirt? Do you know what Bitcoin Cash is? So yeah. Anyway, sorry guys. Hopefully you guys get the joke, and if not, well, hopefully I don't die. So that's out of the way. What else did we want to talk about? Okay, so let me just recap on what's this whole idea. I already thought about it out loud before, but we're just gonna go over this idea real quickly. This is my new idea about Monero. Okay, I'm gonna submit or concede, whatever is the proper terminology, that Monero is going to be eventually ASICable. Okay, so that means saying that Kryptonite eventually would be ASICable. My argument is that that doesn't matter. And in fact, that's good because really what we want to rely on is forking the chain. As we see already, the strongest fork will win with whatever has the most development behind it. So at least as I see it right now, if Bitcoin Core continues to be the driving force behind Bitcoin, the true driving force behind Bitcoin, not really the miners, but the development. And then there's another argument on that altogether. But if they're really the driving force behind Bitcoin, they will be the deciders of what Bitcoin is. If really Bitcoin Core wanted to, they could go ahead and fork themselves. You know, you might have people still mining on that old chain, but I really think, as we've seen with like other things like Monero and also with Ethereum, people really follow the developers along with their forks. And now here's another reasoning for why. When you know that your developer is going to fork, there's actually a monetary reasoning. It makes sense to actually invest in your chain now. Because whether or not the chain splits up, or if someone decides that they want to actually, continue running the old protocol, well then now you've still secured your interest. As long as you're putting money back in the chain, it's really good. Like if you're going to fork Monero, let's say, it's really good for Monero if people threaten to hold on to the old chain, because people are going to now invest in it, just because we've seen what happened in the past. When you invest in these chains before they split, you basically double your value. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it's good for the currency itself. So it's weird because it's like this fail-safe, because like you're not saying I want Monero to fork, but I'm saying that if you really are threatening you're going to fork it, well, that's actually good for us. Like if you're threatening that you're going to actually go against from what the developers want, like the developers are always threatening they're going to fork. They're going to fork every 6 months. But if there's going to be not necessarily a threat of a fork, but a threat of continuing the old chain, if that's your threat, well then people are just going to invest in that chain all of a sudden. And then once again we see is like, well, look at who's actually going to develop on that old chain. It doesn't really matter. You're just going to see that wealth kind of eventually leak back into whichever Monero chain is being developed by the Monero developers. So my argument is that you can change the algorithm every 6 months. And it doesn't necessarily even matter if the algorithm is asyncable or not, because you want your chain to be attacked, because that increases the value. And it's not like this might need to be worked out with, because it's kind of taken for granted that you increase the value every time you split the fork. But as we see, we kind of can take it for granted. People will invest in that chain. If you know that the chain is going to be developed on one side or the other, whichever way it's going to split, you want to put your money into that chain beforehand so the price will rise. There's more financial stability. There's more backing. And yet it's kind of speculation, but it's not really speculation. No matter what, you're doubling your value. It's just whether or not the second chain will have any value. It's not necessarily doubling your value, but your value doesn't even necessarily split. It's just, it's possible that the secondary chain or whatever it is might have some value. So if you know that that's going to be the case, why not invest in it beforehand? Like no matter what. So that's why SegWit2x, we just saw that again with SegWit2x. SegWit2x, there was a threat. SegWit2x was gonna happen, and then they fucking fucked it up like 400 times, and now SegWit2x is gonna come out. But you saw the price pump again, and now people are like, oh, I think this is it, guys. I think Monero's, like, we're done. I think Tone called it at 7,500. I don't remember. I was kind of watching I don't really pay attention. I don't know trading or any of that shit. I want to learn more about that with John. In fact, we really need to kind of start focusing our main show over to that, in my opinion. I think us just talking about like what I think about Monero and him trying to convince me like whatever about whatever isn't going to work out, especially because like I do think very radically, but I think also I'm thinking kind of logically, and people will be like, no, you're stupid. You're not. There's no logic to anything you're thinking. You're not even thinking about anything. But I do think at face value, this kind of does make sense, where if there's a threat of a split of the chain, you automatically want to invest in that, because no matter what, wherever the value goes, you're going to have value in two areas now where you only had one. And you know really what's going to happen. Like, I know that the Monero chain that is going to be backed by Fluffy Pony and friends is going to be the one that people are going to support. You know what I mean? It's just that's going to be the case. And it's weird because, like, Fluffy's kind of like the Roger Ver of, like, Bitcoin a little bit. You know what I mean? Or I mean, of Monero a little bit. So it's like, but it's like weird because we kind of take it for granted. He's kind of like looking out for Monero. Whereas like you have people who are kind of like they want to split and do what they want against the community. But as plus, if you guys listen to the recent Monero monitor, Mike, I don't remember his last name. I think his first name is Mike. That was really good, dude. I really, really liked listening to that. I'm going to be listening to more of them. I started listening to the one with Chris as well. And I think I was listening to another one previously, like right when it first came out. Whatever. I have to go do my research and all this stuff. The content you release is very high quality. Not like mine. Your stuff is very, very high quality. I very much enjoy listening to it. I feel like I become smarter listening to your podcast, whereas people become dumber listening to mine. So, very good content. Thanks for that. But if you listen to that, Fluffy Pony talks about, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, he's not really, the center of like how these things are decided. Whereas you see really, like, Roger Ver is like kind of that focal point. And that's what we're kind of steering away from. We don't want, centralization. And yeah, there's some type of like democracy to like the decentralization, I guess. I don't know if that makes any sense. But we have to have some type of check and balance, right? I mean, there's got to be some type of organization here. None of this stuff is like perfect. We're kind of approaching that perfect process. Maybe it is the case that, Roger Ver is the right way, and maybe we are supposed to fork and force it by mining it, and then eventually that's the way that you really choose your chain. Or maybe the way that Fluffy Pony does it is the right way. I don't really know. We're going to find out. I mean, that's why this stuff is really exciting. But I think there is some like validity to the idea that you can actually fork your coin, your chain, actively every 2, 3, 6 months, whatever it is, effectively within a consensus of the community. I don't think we need to even worry about that. I think Ethereum's and also it will also keep the same name. You know what I mean? Like people are worried about, is Bitcoin Cash going to take over Bitcoin, the name? Ethereum 2 is Ethereum. Ethereum Classic is the real Ethereum, but no one calls Ethereum Classic Ethereum. They call that Ethereum Classic. Are we going to see that with Bitcoin? Will Bitcoin become Bitcoin Classic or Bitcoin Classic? Are we going to have, all these different types of fucking Bitcoins? And is that bad for Bitcoin? Is it good for Monero? I'm starting to think that, like, Bitcoin says, no, we don't want forks, we don't want forks, we don't want forks, we don't do that type of thing. And now you see, like, man, if you guys just needed to fucking take some initiative, man. We needed some quick action because you have people who are trying to disrupt the whole platform. And when you have that, and you don't have those, like, people at the top that are really like, hey, man, this is what we're trying to do. I think we're looking out for everyone here. If you don't want to use our shit, don't use our shit. We're not telling you to buy our currency. Whereas you see, Bitcoin, Cash is like, buy us. You need to buy our shit now because we need to make sure we're number one. Because if we're number one, the only way we'll be number one is if you're using us. So I there is something to be said about being able to fork your chain wherever the fuck you want with consensus, if it's possible. I think it is kind of possible. And a good example right now we have a great example we see is with the Ethereum community. I mean, Ethereum 2 isn't really worth shit. It stayed about $15 for however long. That's not gonna pump anytime soon. At least I don't think so. Maybe it will. I don't know. But no one's worried about if Ethereum Classic forks, no one gives a shit. If Ethereum oh shit, I've been talking to the wrong side of my phone the whole time. Whoopsie. If Ethereum forks, people are gonna put their money into Ethereum all of a sudden. Actually, that's not true. If Ethereum Classic forks too, people probably pump Ethereum Classic. See? This is what I'm saying. It makes sense to fork. Or at least threaten a fork, because then people are going to pump that shit, and you're, like, increasing the price stability. Well, maybe not. I mean, you're kind of like, it's whatever. I think there's some thing to be said that, like, a fork threat is actually good for your coin. It's not good for the community. It's not good for the understanding of cryptocurrency or what we're supposed to be doing here. But it is really good for the coin itself. Like, Bitcoin benefits when you fork it every 2 fucking weeks. Because people are worried that the other coin is going to be the next one. But maybe you run out of tries. You know what I mean? Monero is good because it's on a schedule. It's not like they're just shooting out fucking random forks every 2 seconds. So no one's really combating them. Maybe one of these other forks that Bitcoin's going to catch, and then it's going to be an issue. Or maybe, they're all going to keep forking, and then Bitcoin Core actually needs to do a fork at some point, and no one's going to trust it. I feel like people are actually just kind of lose it. They're getting kind of frustrated with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Core. And yes, it has the most developers, and yeah, they seem to be the most competent, or whatever the fuck is the argument for why they're the best. I'm not going to debate whether or not they're whatever. But, I mean, I don't know. I just think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. I like the way that Monero does it. But I'm a Monero shit pumper. So you know what? I'll get labeled that, and that's why I run a fucking website that, you know, let's also let's get this clear in case anybody is like there's like some misconception about this, but like the Monero Apparel website isn't the most flattering utility for Monero's flourishment. Let's be honest with that. Like, they're trying to steer away from the whole, like, oh, we're like internet drug money. And I'm like, hey guys, look at the internet drug money story. Guess what? Get our t-shirts, man. You want to do some acid? Ooh, I bought this baby on the dark market. Fucking had acid inside of it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not good. They don't want that. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that one. That's funny. Baby acid. I bought this baby acid on the internet with Monero. You know what I mean? That shit's hilarious. There's so much shit there. Like, there's so many new shirts coming out, guys. Okay? We have baby acid. That's new. Like, it's like baby aspirin. Jesus Christ. I hope I don't go to jail for this. Because that'll suck. I hope I don't go to jail and also don't get killed by dark market assassins funded by the Bitcoin Cash Foundation. Anyway, allegedly. Anyway, I think that's it. Maybe these don't need to be like an hour long. I think I got it out. So I apologized. I said my piece on these guys. Bitcoin gold, is that going to pump? No one cares about my opinion on that. I think it's going to. Although it could drop down to $8 tomorrow and it wouldn't matter. But it seems to be getting, I mean, people are talking about it. It's getting a lot of movement, right? Right? There's a lot of volatility in the marketplace, right? That's what people like. That's what the traders want. Got to offset that risk. But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a very interesting time in cryptocurrency. I think if you're not a good time to get emotional about cryptocurrency. That's what is making me sad. I feel like people are getting very emotional with me, and I don't get it. Because I'm very, like, I'm the last person to get emotional about this because I don't care about any, like, I don't care about any of this stuff. None of this matters to me. It's fun. It's hilarious. And that matters to me. Like, for like the community, that matters to me. But as far as like Bitcoin succeeding or any of this stuff, whatever, like, I'm not going to get emotional about this stuff. And it doesn't care about me. Like, Bitcoin's not asking you about your mother. I don't know why you're caring about Bitcoin. Like, it's, you know, I don't know. I think, and there's a lot to it that I'm not saying we shouldn't look into the ideas of Bitcoin and like what's part of Bitcoin, but like I do feel like the people can get very upset and very rigid, and then they're very, instead of looking at what we're really trying to do here, everybody's just looking more out for their wealth, and it's kind of defeating the purpose of what we're like, why we came to Bitcoin in the first place. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was just supposed to be like, oh, fuck the government. I don't want the government to control my money, and so we're making Bitcoin, and I don't care if it's, you know, a lopsided new form of economics. It's not about that. It's about me having control over my money. And if I'm the first one to control over my money and I can convince everybody to use my money, then I'm the best. And that's the best shit that we should all be using, because I convinced everybody to use my shit. And I don't know if I'm behind that. Like, that's why, like, I think people kind of think like, you know, they don't, Devin, you're kind of crazy. Like, you can't, like, this isn't some fucking pipe dream about Bitcoin. It's like, I do think there's like, we have to kind of get to the understanding of like why are we doing Bitcoin? Why Bitcoin? Why fucking Bitcoin? Like, what are we trying to accomplish here? Because we know what it's used for. We pretty much got it. We got that down now. We figured that one out. Like, the marketplace has kind of described that one, but we don't really understand like why we really had to resort to that. Is it just because it's so easy, or is it just because a lot of it's getting pumped? I feel like a lot of people are in it because it gets pumped, not because they need it. And they don't understand really why it's going up. They just think that it's going to keep going up because there's a restriction on it. And maybe that is the case. But I'm more and more becoming skeptical in this idea that, like, Bitcoin is the way. damn, I'm gonna get so much heat. I always go back and forth from this too. Like I for a while there, I was really gonna invest. I was gonna try to get my shit into Bitcoin. I was gonna try, and now I'm like, it already pumped. It already pumped. So what? I didn't make 10 times my returns. Oh my god. So what now? Am I supposed to buy more Bitcoins? I don't think so. So I think I'm just going to chill on that. Wait it out, because this shit's getting a little too hectic. There's too much of that value getting split up. There's too much. The community hates itself too much. Poking each other's with spears and shit. You got the Bcash people hating on the Bitcoin Cash people, and the Bitcoin Cash people hating on the Bcash people. It ain't right. Should just all use Monero instead. That's how I feel about it. And also, we should start forking Monero immediately, Roger Ver. Come on, guy. Ditch those fucking losers, man. Let's fucking do something fun. Come on, Veermeister. Veermaestro. Come on, fucking Jihan. Let's build some fucking Kryptonite miners, bro. Ziff. Come on, dude. Come on, my dude. Hook it up. Because you know what? I think that's where it's at right now. I've been thinking that. So you know what? Here's my one little criticism. My little one criticism I have about the Moneros I've been having about lately now. And you can hear this on. He be going on record now. I've been saying this on the Monero monitor, so I ain't been making this up. And don't be saying that none about me, okay? No, you don't be knowing a lot about me. I don't be making up things. You know that now. What I'm saying is that Fluffy is saying, hey, man, this is a big science experiment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he's also pumping a company, which I actually am using currently. And I think I'm under the impression that there should be no issue with me using it for my location. But as far as I understand, he's relying, he does refer to Monero as a shitcoin in himself. So I don't know. But he's relying that Monero is going to be a useful form of value transfer. And as far as I'm concerned, it is. But he normally would argue that it's a science experiment, but yeah, he's also basing a business. It's not a Monero business, though. It's a business that kind of like works with Monero, but it's not a Monero business, I would say. They work with other currencies as well. So maybe that's his little loophole there. He kind of diversified his risk by convoluting the situation by adding more fucking shitcoins to the mix. Kind of makes sense there. I don't know. We'll see. The Globy thing, though, I think it's an interesting organization. I'm using it currently. Hopefully, it works out. And fucking if that shit gets hacked, that's gonna be a problem. Jesus Christ. God damn. But yeah, anyway, so I don't know. That's the one thing I'm kind of curious about with him is like, if you're saying it's a science experiment and then you're running this like secondary organization, I get that you're kind of saying that like, well, you just kind of, we accept all shitcoins. So, it's not like, it's not our fault. It's the shitcoin's fault if it doesn't work. But we also can't separate Fluffy Pony from Monero at all. Like, that's almost impossible. Maybe like it is possible on paper, but like theoretically it's impossible, not even like... not possible in this universe or any other universe. But that's it. Okay, so I guess that's my one skepticism about Monero is that he's how you pumping it, how are you not pumping it at the same time running a business that's kind of going to be using that as one of its main currencies. It's blended, but it is one of the main. It's like one of the main five. So that's it, though. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the stream or podcast, whatever this is. It's a podcast. Check it out on the website. I'm going to be moving all the episodes eventually over to the website. Maybe this will go up on SoundCloud, maybe not. But check out the website, altcoinsanonymous.com. It's not up yet. It's going to be up, but it's not up yet. It will be up. And then... there will be a Twitter for that, altcoinsanon.twitters, altcoinsanon. And then, guys, get ready. The 12-step program will be coming up for you guys. I'll be putting that up shortly. The 12 steps to success. And that's it. I think that's it. Anda. Go to MoneroApparel.com and buy the shirts that I made, because they're really good shirts this time. I promise they're really good. Not like last time. These ones are better. And if you had any issue in the past or before or anything like that, make sure you hit, if you're like don't hate Monero Apparel. Sorry, I'm gonna be like, I'm pumping the shit out of my thing right now, but it's fine, whatever. That's like, this is my in, so that's what I have to do. If you guys have any issues with Monero Apparel, contact support at MoneroApparel.com, and that way I'll get back to you and fix that shit. Like in the past or anticipating an issue in the future or whatever. We got female shirts, shirts that make fun of people, and we got hats, a bunch of fucking hats now. So, go buy those. Buy my shits. And it's Black Friday week, so it started Friday. I'm recording this like at 5 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it is, and it'll be going up until Black Friday, that Saturday, no more. But Black Friday week, that's what this is right now. And then theoretically, I guess I should do something on Monday. Maybe I'll do something on Monday too. There might be an extra Monday sale. No guarantees, all right? If you fucking want something, you get it by Friday, okay? Don't forget. You buy it by Friday or it's done, okay? For some reason, the guy, accent almost turned into like a Miami, club owner for a second. I don't know what's going on there. Any case, we're done. Bye, guys. Love you guys. Follow me on the Tweetskers. Follow me everywhere. Bye-bye.